Letter of explanation. This document empowers you to directly communicate with the immigration officer and update about your situation, or you think that there is something which can be given more clarification so that the immigration officer is able to assimilate and understand things better. This reduces the chances of you getting a query from their end and also helps you with the express entry process being smooth. Now, in our case, we were in a little complex situation in few of the places and we used this letter of explanation to our best use. For example, in my case, I had a gap of 2 to 3 months of employment between two organizations, and one of my organization had shut their office completely. The other organization was acquired by a different organization. So these were the three scenarios when it comes to my work experience. Similarly, in my wife's case, her current company refused to give a reference letter saying they don't issue to any of their current employees. And one of her previous organization, they also refused to give the reference letter in the format IRCC had asked for, saying they follow a standard format which they have. Now, you might also have these kind of issues. In addition, things like, say, when it comes to proof of fund, having a gift deed, how do you explain? Or you have a situation where your police clearance certificate is getting delayed. So, under these circumstances, letter of explanation is the document which will help you to put across your point to the immigration officer. So, in today's video, what I'll do is I will share the actual scenarios we both were into and how we made our letter of explanation. And this will give you guiding information and you will be able to understand the logic with which you will feel confident that in case you have any situation, how to put across the point and make sure that you have all the required information made available to the immigration officer. But before we proceed with the further video, in case you are new to my channel, please go ahead and press the like button as well as subscribe. I make videos related to Canada immigration the way you want to know, and I also share my experience here as a new Canadian permanent resident. So before you forget, I'll give a pause of 5 seconds so that you can go and subscribe. I hope by now you have subscribed. Thank you for that. So without wasting much time, let's go to the computer screen where I will share the letter of explanation format which we used. Let's go. Okay, on screen you see this letter of explanation document. We made a 2-page document which was just plain document, no notarization or even our signature, just a salutation. Okay, and let's go on top. It started with the date so that in case we follow up with any letter of explanation in future, we can keep a record, and then heading as letter of explanation, and then the context for ease of understanding and further clarity on my permanent residency express entry application. Please find below few key points explained in detail. For the primary applicant, which is my wife, with related to her work experience, at 2 places she was having challenge. So the heading was given with the company name so that the immigration officer knows that what it is related to, and then the situation was made to understand. My current employer does not issue employer reference letter for immigration purpose for their current employees. Hence, I am submitting letter issued by the company for my certified financial analyst CFA membership and exam. So for people who are in finance industry, this is one of the very much recognized certification, and in case someone is giving that exam, they have to go through getting these document where the roles and responsibility, everything is given. So my wife, she used this certificate instead of the reference letter from the company, which captures detail of my job responsibility, designation, salary and start of service date. Further, I have also uploaded my payslip for reference. Also attached is the email where they have communicated that they cannot issue reference letter. So you see, my wife, she had made a communication with the company. She has that mail, and then for substantiating her work experience, she submitted this document where most of the details were captured in the manner what IRCC wanted. Okay, so this was one case. Now, the second employment, my previous employer has communicated that they can only give reference letter in company standard format, and that does not list the job duties as asked by IRCC. Hence, to complement this letter, I am sharing joining letter, promotion letter, salary, start of service, date, and last 3 months payslip. Also, I have given detail in the remark below. I am also sharing the email communication with company. So here she is clearly defining that she communicated and company has responded in email. If that is available, it is better to be put so that the loop is closed. And since the company said that they have a standard format in which they will give and that did not capture the details what IRCC wanted, she made this table and she gave all the reference document. So the period is mentioned, what her designation was, and document uploaded online, employer reference letter and appointment letter. Then for this period, her designation, employer reference letter, which is the same document, confirmation letter and appointment letter. So usually you know that after you join, after a few months you get a confirmation letter. So that was attached, and clearly it was mentioned, point number 4 of page 8 of uploaded PDF document states that this designation would be promoted to this designation on confirmation of employment after 1 year of appointment. In addition, attached are the increment letter showing my designation. So here she has given a clearer picture that while the company has not given in the format what is required, she has made an endeavor to give as much information as possible with which the immigration officer can analyze. Now, for the third designation, employer reference letter, which is the same letter, and the promotion letter. So that was attached. So that gives clarity that she was in what all designation and what were the documents which are corresponding to that. Now, when it comes to dependent spouse, which is my case, I was working in an Indian government organization. Now, there they don't give any relieving letter. So here it was mentioned that served in the organization as the designation and the start date as well as the end date and how many years. And then the statement was made that since this organization only gives release document, same document has been uploaded online as reference letter for your perusal. Now, with related to release document, I am giving a context that these are the page where the details are available. Document issued by the organization covers detail of service, including start date of work as well as end date of work and the designation. Now, in my case, the letter template did not have the job duties listed. So I on my own wrote the roles and responsibility and said, since it is not mentioned in the document, I am enlisting my role for reference, which is aligned to the NOC job code. So here the details were given by me, which is a self-declaration. Okay. Now coming down, you see a particular organization, when I joined them, immediately after a few months, this organization was acquired by a different organization and then they rebranded the company. Okay. And what I did, I uploaded the relieving letter where the change of this company has been mentioned. Okay. That upload reference document, I made a mention that this is the document which I have uploaded. Now, later on, this company completely closed. So there was no way I could go and get a reference letter. However, I had the joining letter and promotions and other details. So those details were uploaded. In addition, what I did was I attached the news article of this opening, rebranding and closing of business on the prominent website, which is basically newspaper or website for the reference. And I shared the link, what you can see here in this fashion. So this gave about the rebranding and this gave information on shutting down the business. So when I attached these links, these were linked from leading newspaper or website which are of international repute. So for the immigration officer, I had given link with which he could go and verify it. So that's how I covered these aspects. Coming to gap in employment, which was in my case. So what happened was, when I was transitioning from my government service to corporate, it took some time, about 2 to 3 months, before I could join a corporate organization. So I mentioned those dates where the gap of employment was, and then informed them that took release from the organization and was transitioning into corporate, was preparing for career transitioning, interviews and certification. And it took about 3 months to find a corporate job. And then, since my wife was the primary applicant, it was made in her name. So you see, yours sincerely, just the name, not even a signature. So that's the document how we made. So friends, in case there are situations where you want to update about proof of funds, say you got a gift deed, then this letter of explanation comes handy. Or say there is going to be a delay in police clearance certificate, then it is better to update through this letter of explanation. So this is a very good document which you can use to communicate with the immigration officer. In my case, since I was there in the government service, I was asked 3 times additional queries with related to the same organization, and all I did was to be as transparent as possible and give what is getting asked. The format was given by them. I just filled those details and sent back to them with all the required information. So I hope you found today's video interesting as well as informative. Do let me know with your comment as well as like, and do share with all your friends who have been thinking about Canada so that they know how to use this letter of explanation. Thanks for watching Canada Tried and Tested.